Been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast.
Hi guys, welcome back to Just Another Topic podcast. I'm Adasa,
I'm Neftali.
and tomorrow is her birthday. She is officially entering her mid-20s.
Yes. And if you don't know, we spoke last episode on growing up and entering our mid-20s. We spoke about our relationship thus far, how work has been going for us, and our journey with school. So if you didn't watch that and to see our feelings, especially mine, on turning 24, feel free to go watch it. It's gonna be in the playlist at the end of the video, and it's also in the description box on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, you'll find it on our channel.
So happy birthday to future you and you today as well.
Thank you.
And you know what is funny is that my brother's birthday is exactly a month after yours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I was talking to him last week, and we were reminiscing about being children and how, like, the journey of us growing up and thinking how we were children, and him telling me how he still feels like a little brother, you know. And I told him, I responded like, yes, and I still feel like your big sister as well. Like, you know, I was like, it's not a feeling that's gonna leave as well
as you grow up.
You're always going to be my little brother. If I see that you need help, I will always be here for you, you know, and that's never going to change. And what is funny is that the relationship that we have, it's like always big sister, little brother, but as adult. You know? He's going to call me and be like, hi, how are you? What's up with you? Everything. And I'm going to do the same thing, but there's always like a little part of me that's
will
a little
worry.
bit worried for him, as if we were still children. That's not living. That's never gonna live, I think. And I see that with my mom and her sister as well. Like they talk on the phone, and you see my mom. I'm not gonna say like she checks my aunt, like don't do that, whatever. But she's gonna talk to her like a big sister, because my mom is like the oldest with she's older than my aunt. My aunt's like the last daughter. And my mom, I think she amongst the oldest children, you know? So I thought that was like kind of funny.
To think about, because if I think about it, I'm an only child, so I don't have a relationship like that. I don't have like the feeling of like having somebody that you worry about and protect, or somebody that will look after me. So I remember during one of our filming, I think was it the first episode or the second episode?
I think it was the second episode.
Yeah, the second episode.
It was the third episode that never...
Maybe, I don't know. So during that episode, she received a call from her brother, and the brother was like, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm here, right there. And then I was thinking, like, I don't have somebody, if you're a friend and you call me, I feel like I would help you, but I would still think of me first. Feel like you have I don't have that much money right now, but it's okay. I'll help you.
Yeah, always. Sometimes when he asked me, I didn't have my paycheck yet, so I went into my savings, but I didn't think about it twice.
Yeah.
I just did it because like that's my brother. I have to help him. I want to help him, you know? So that's what I did. Of course, I help him. So
yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's completely different I feel like it's completely different if you have siblings, the way you help. And if compared to me, I help because if I can. I feel like you just help whether you can or not, because I've seen this not even just with us, with my mom. She's the oldest out of all her siblings, so my mom she would rather struggle herself and help the younger ones, even if they're comfortable, they're okay, and then but she would struggle to make sure that they're more than comfortable.
Yeah.
So I see that as siblings. I see, like, honestly, I'm surrounded by more so older siblings. So that's what I see most often, the older siblings sacrificing themselves for the younger sibling. But that's also because I feel like it's a responsibility, and that's how your parents raised you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I will never forget the first time. Okay, some people might think I'm crazy, but I know I'm not. I remember the day that I met my brother for the first time. I remember how he looked like, everything, what he was wearing from the hospital. My mom, like, he was in his car seat, and my mom came and said, "Hey, that is your little brother. You need to protect him." And then I looked at him, I said, "Okay." And the funny thing is that he wasn't even black yet. He was born white.
Oh my gosh. Well, most babies are born very light.
There's light and white. You know, if I would see like because my mom, she's dark skinned. She's dark, like a dark skinned woman with a white baby. I would be like, what happened? What happened? You know?
Who is the father?
Exactly.
Well, then you would be asking a lot if you saw me, because my dad is very light, so people love to call me white, and I'm just like, and I have one friend specifically that would tell me I am the white one. So you would look at me and be like, "Who's this baby?"
Well, no, I'm joking. I would not ask on the street. That's not
I know that.
But I would just think like, that is interesting. I know how genetics work. I know I studied it at school, but still, I just think it's funny to see like it's
the difference.
The super light baby and the dark skin mom. You're just like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, but to go back to how you saw your brother for the first time. Did you, like, when your mom told you that, did you have the feeling, or were you like, this is none of my business?
No, it's like you have, it comes, I don't know, it's just like,
it grows?
It instinct. You know how a mom gives birth to her child, and when she sees it, she's like, that's my baby. It's the same thing. I did not know what a sibling was, but I just knew I needed to protect him. And then as we grew up, that's when I was like, okay, that is what a brother is. You know, and I remember my mom, she told me like, I would slap him for no reason. She would be changing his diapers and I would come, I don't know where, pow! And then...
Were you jealous?
I don't remember that. My mom, obviously, I think there was some part of jealousy because all of the first child, you're the first children, you have all of the attention.
And so you're not.
And then another baby comes and they get all of the attention. But that did not last really long because I really loved him. So he was my best friend as a child. And I do remember when we used to play together. There's even pictures of me with my brother like that. I would drag him by the neck like, that was my teddy bear. My brother was my teddy bear. And I would be like, no, I want to play with him. And
not you taking your brother as if it was yours.
Yes. And I remember like my mom, she would be like, no, don't hold him like that. And I was like, no. I remember arguing with like, no, because I thought she wanted to take him away from me. So I was like, no.
Yeah, that's not her baby. That's yours at this point.
Yeah. But, you know, that's how children, when you have a sibling, you always have someone to play with, which is actually fun. I like that.
Yeah. Like, as an only child, you know, I get all the attention. So people always would tell me, oh, that must be fun. You get all the attention. Always. Every time I see people that I talk to people with siblings and I tell them, oh, I'm an only child, they'd be like, oh, that must be so much fun. And I'm like, y'all forget that attention is not always great, you know? Because if I get all the attention, that also means if I fuck up, I get all the attention. Yeah. Like, there's nobody to take... Like, I can't push the blame on anybody else like you would do if you're a sibling. Yeah. I can't push the blame. I can't pretend it wasn't me. Like, I'm the only one in the house. If the walls have colors on them, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at anybody else. So, it feels like... It felt great, but I always wanted somebody else, you know? Not just to take all the blame for me, but...
to have someone.
Because when you grow up as an only child, parents' attention is great, but it's just it still feels like it still feels lonely because you don't have somebody that is like you, quote unquote. Like, yes, as you grow up, you can have conversations with your parents. Your mom can become your best friend, but it's not the same as somebody that is your age becoming, or like close to your age becoming a best friend. Which, like, I know I have friends.
The flashback. I just remember you said you don't have someone like you, and I was just gonna say, yeah, you have no one to talk shit about your parents with. I used to help my brother when my mom would, like, how would you say, groom? She would groom me. I would go to my brother and talk like, she's so mean. I don't want to see her for the rest of my life.
Oh, when she would discipline you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I want to run away, and my brother would be like, girl, calm down. Like, you're gonna be fine in 15 minutes. Go downstairs and eat a little bit.
My God. See, I didn't have anybody to, well, you know, if you have friends, you can tell them. If you have friends that have the same experience. So I would say, talk to my other black friends, being like, you know, the belt, and how, like, my mom was mean, and, you know, like, how I didn't like her for this. I would never do this to my children. You know, you can, I could speak with my friend, but I didn't have somebody to relate in my own house, you know? So all the, because I had all the attention, like I was saying, it felt like a lot at times, you know, you don't have anybody else to share the attention. It's not just like pushing the blame. It's also like, I want to have some privacy. I want to just like, I don't want to be seen for some time, you know? But it's always like, what are you doing? Something is not done. You have to do it. Something needs to be done. You have to do it. Like, you don't share the load. And, you know, as your parents get older, you start becoming kind of the secretary and the adults.
Yeah.
and the adult, as the oldest sister, I'm pretty sure you understand that more.
I am responsible for my mom's password.
Yeah.
On her computer. I did like a
board.
I did a board with all of her passwords, and sometimes she's gonna call me, yes, I can find it. I'm just like, Mom, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and on the left, on the right, it's here. You know.
Yeah, because like you're the oldest one, so you have the responsibility that sometimes your brother wouldn't have as like a younger one. But I have all the responsibility also. Like, I have the responsibility of the older child and the younger child. So like, it feels like a lot. It can feel like a lot sometimes. Yeah.
That reminded me, when my brother and I were younger, we always thought that my mom would give more attention to the other sibling. You know, I would think that, but she in fact give more attention to my brother, but not because she loves him more. My brother is ADHD. My brother needed way more discipline than I did. And I was a super calm child. I was responsible. I was quiet. And I didn't need like as much attention. So, you know, the attention that I didn't need, my mom took it and gave it to my brother. So to me, to my eyes, I was like, well, you give him more attention. You care more for him than for me. And my brother, because he was ADHD, my mom would have to discipline him way more than I. So my mom would be like more, not nicer to me, but she didn't need to discipline me as much. So my brother would be like, okay, well, you're always disciplining me,
but never her.
Never her, you know? Because my mom, when I would do something, my mom would come and tell me like, okay, you broke this, doing that, don't do that again. And I would understand. My brother did not. He would do it again and again and again until like the belt came out, you know?
Yeah.
So that's like our different point of view that we had.
See, it's between siblings. It's between people and my mom's friends' children. My mom had a best friend, and that best friend had a daughter. So we became best friends since we were basically fated to be best friends. So because my best friend was very good at school, she was calm. She was basically you as a child. So she was better, quote unquote, than me. But it's because her mom wouldn't advertise everything that she did wrong as a child. She didn't do a lot wrong from what I remember. but she wouldn't be, her mom wouldn't be advertising. Compared to my mom would be advertising would be talking to everyone about everything, everyone thing that I was doing. So then she would see that her best friend's daughter was disciplined and better at school, better at this, better at that. And then she would compare me. So it was difficult for me because I'm an only child. I don't have any other example in my house. And then I have to compare myself to somebody that is not in my house, so I don't see what they do wrong. So I just have a perfect image in front of me that I have to live up to. And then my mom has a perfect image in her mind from what has been told of the good things and nothing of the bad things. So then she makes me want to live up to that. And then I have all the attention, so I can't share it with somebody else. Like, okay, I'm gonna be good at school, and then the other one is gonna be the calm one, and then the other one, I don't have that, so I had to fill all of the checklist
by yourself.
By myself. Yeah,
that is a lot. But as we grew up, my brother and I, like, we've learned about ourselves, and my brother did realize, especially today as an adult, he was a not troubled child, but a difficult child. And I saw that as I grew up. I was like, okay, yeah, I understand like why my mom would give him more attention, because he did in fact need way more attention than me and the regular child. So today it's like there's no jealousy, no like rivalry between my brother and I from our moms. My mom does not have a favorite. I know people say, and there's always a favorite between your child. There's not always a favorite. There's different type of relationships
and different needs,
but my mom, she really has no favorite, and she makes that clear always. She's like, I know my mom, she knows my love language is quality time. She's gonna spend more quality time with me than with my brother. My brother, on the other hand, does not need as much quality time. You could give him a gift, just text him, and to him is the equivalent than me, but the both of us know that now. So today it's not really a problem.
Yeah, I fully understand that.
But you talked about your mom comparing you to your friends. That just reminded me how my brother and I we would see sometimes when we were together and there were other groups of children, we would gang up
against the other ones. Yes. So you were bullies?
Not bullies. I'm not gonna say bullies because we never made them. We've never insulted them or hit them unless they hit us first. But we would like stay tight together and just not include them.
Yes. Okay.
And this is something that I see a lot between siblings, especially younger. And when there's family gatherings, I see my little cousins. They're two olders. There are three. The younger, I think he's like 2 or 3. No, he's 3 now. And the two oldest are, I think, closer in age than the third. And you're gonna see the third. He wanna play with the older. He's gonna run after them and everything. And you're gonna see the two oldest being like, no, especially the second one, because it's a girl. The older is a boy. The second one is a girl, and the younger is a boy. So it's gonna be like, no, don't come. And it's just like, why do you have to gang up on him? And my brother and I used to do the same thing to other children.
Yeah, because I feel like it's a thing, like you have a relationship 24/7 compared to everybody else outside. So then you go outside, you can count on the other sibling. Yeah. Because especially if you're close in age, you can count on the other sibling, and then you go to school and you feel like y'all know, I don't know you. Who are you? So it's harder to make friends, I feel like, for people that already have siblings. I didn't have a choice, because if I didn't make friends, I would drive myself crazy, because I had to do like, you don't have anybody to talk at home. so like I would very much like, I developed the skill of talking to myself, but then at one point I can't just talk to myself for the rest of my life, So I had to make friends, which one of like my best friend, she has a brother. So she has somebody else, like even if he's really like he's 60 years younger than her. So they're not really in the same age, but they can support each other still. So that makes it like she was able to have a friend group and not like be like tight. Well, not that she wasn't tight with her brother, but they weren't. It wasn't them against the world. But she always asked me how am I making friends so easy? Because she presents me to her friend group and then I become friends with them too, and like on another level, like separate from her. Like it's not just we're friends because of her. It's just I found things to have in common with these people.
You make friends so easily.
It's because I had to. Like I think the thing is I'm able to like adjust to people. Not that not that I'm not myself, but I find commonalities with people everywhere I go just because I've been forced since I was a child to find a way to be friends with people, because if I don't, I feel I'm going to be alone, quote unquote, and or lonely, which is not the same thing. So like, because if I go back home, I'm playing cards with myself. I'm no, because I came like it was to a point where I was playing cards against myself and trying to beat myself from the other side. Like, how am I losing against myself? It is very funny. No, it is funny. Because how am I losing against myself? It became to that point. Like I would play like I don't know how. Yeah, I am my biggest ups. Yeah. So like I don't know what the name is in English, but Serpent Shell. I would play this game, and then I would lose against myself, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You can only be mad at yourself.
I can only like you learn how to play against yourself. I don't know if I'm the only one who did this as the only child. If I'm weird because of it. But this is how I had to entertain myself. And because I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, I was like, I learned how to adapt and become friends with outsiders. But I've seen a lot of the fact that if you have siblings, it is easier, it is harder for other people to approach you. Especially if you're in the same school. Because I feel like in high school, since you weren't in the same school as your brother, was easier.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that with my child. I'm going to put them in separate high schools.
Yeah.
And
well, depending also on what they want. Maybe they don't want to be in the same high school.
Yeah. But
they won't.
As you get older with your siblings, you grow apart. And then he has his friend groups and I have mine. And I remember growing up, my mom would defend us from playing with each other's friends.
Huh.
My mom was like, when your sister's with her friends at the house, you leave them alone. And my mom would tell me the same. But at the end of the day, my brother would, he's the younger, so he would come pop in like, hi you, hi sister, hi so and so, my friend, and he would speak to them and they would get along. But I would only like say hi to his friend because that's my house. You're gonna tell me how, whatever, out of respect. But I would not like take their news and be like, how are you doing? How is school doing and everything? My mom was like, no, this is a no, because she wanted to avoid being like the siblings that are too close and share one friend group. She was like, no, your brother needs his life and you need your own life.
See, I've seen friend groups, siblings have the same friend groups, especially if you're like it's 2 girls or 2 boys. I don't know for 2 boys, but for 2 girls, I've seen like the 2 girls have the same friend group, and I don't know, I think it's not as bad if you have the same friend group, but I understand the sentiment of wanting your child to have like a friend group that is separate from the ones that they that the other child has.
Even if I have twins, I'm gonna make them have each one their friend group, because it's terrible. Honestly, I think it's terrible being friends with siblings. I don't really, I'm not gonna say no, I don't like that. I'm gonna say it. I don't like that because I don't like being. Sometimes you get dragged into family business, and I don't like that. You two are just fighting in front of me. What am I supposed to do? Y'all are siblings. It's not like 2 friends. Like, okay, guys, let's just like keep quiet for now and have some fun, and you can talk this through later on. No, this is siblings. Like, I don't I don't enter like sibling
wars.
wars. I don't like that. So me personally, if I am friend with one sibling, the other one you can come every once in a while, but I'm not gonna invite you to hang out with my friend. Because me personally, I want to stay away from.
So but if you were to enter a friend group and they are already siblings in that friend group, would you be friends with just one?
I would keep a distance from both. Honestly.
Okay.
That's what I would do, because I'm not doing that.
I never really thought of it because most of my friends, when they have siblings, it's like your friend. I would say hi to your brother, have a small chit chat, but he's not my friend.
Exactly.
My other best friend, her brother is like 6 years younger than us. I think 4. I don't know. He's younger. And
clearly not crisscrossing.
Nah, yeah, we're not crisscrossing, and I don't have a lot of friends that have. If they have sibling, it's really just either they're very young, much younger, or they're not in the same friend group. So I never had to be in that situation.
Well, I was in it. I think. Who was it? Because I know that I was friends with people that were siblings. At some point, I was like, I'm never doing that ever again. I really don't like that.
It wasn't comfortable. Understandable.
And especially if I'm close to you, and then y'all get into a fight, you're gonna come to me complaining about him, and then he's gonna come to me complaining about you. And what am I supposed to do? This is
it's already hard enough when it's just friends.
Yeah, so I'm not family that keep me away.
It's understandable because it's not a friend group that I know, but it's not people that I know, but it's something that was told to me. Basically it's like a girl that has she has 5 or 6 siblings. They're not all the same age, but they're kind of close. And growing up, because their life was harder, they kind of just became each other's friends, so much so that they were rude to people outside. And then that girl got into a relationship, and the boyfriend taught her how to be
more civilized,
quote unquote. Yeah, exactly. More kind, open. Yeah, is the word that you're right. This is the word I was looking for. So he taught her how to be more open, and that kind of trickled into the rest of the siblings, because even at school they weren't talking to other people. They were hanging out together. They were if you go out, it's with your siblings. If you have a friendship things, it was the siblings. It wasn't yours. Your mother didn't want you to have the same friend group. They didn't have friend groups. They had each other. And I feel that's even worse than having the same friend group. But if you imagine them having the same friend group,
it would be terrible. They would bring all the drama.
Yeah. 5, 6 people in the same friend group that are siblings wouldn't work. Yeah.
But one stereotype that there is about only child is how selfish and how do you say egotistic? How selfish and
egotistical
they are or can be, and I feel like you're a big exception, because there are some people I've met. I'm just talking to them, and the way they are, I just know they are only child.
See, do I know a lot of only childs in my life? Because every time I meet someone, everybody is telling me, no, I have sister and brothers. I don't think I know any only child. I don't think I know any only child.
I know another one, but she grew up with her cousins, so it doesn't even count.
Wow.
As an only child.
Well, then I have never really been close to an only child to see that stereotype. I didn't even know it existed. Honestly. No. It's the first time I hear about it. Cause
people please comment below if y'all met only child
and how you
guys talked and just knew they were only child. They ask some dumb question. My brother would come and I need help with this. Okay, yes. And that only child would be like, okay, then why are you helping him? Why would I help him? What is wrong with you?
Yes, I would help him. He's my brother.
Yes, there, and the way they a lot of them don't like to share. They don't share. They don't think they can't. Let's just say we're going out. They're gonna be like, I want to do this, so we do that. No, I don't want to do that. We're gonna have to find a common ground. They do not know how to find common ground.
But see, I think it's more. If you're saying that I'm the exception, but I feel like it's more so because I was very much trying to make friends, so I didn't end up on that side. Because sometimes being an only child, I feel like some people would like being an only child. I just didn't like that. I always wanted a brother or sister. I didn't like being alone and all that. So I grew up making concessions to be able to be in friend groups. But I think it's not even just an only child thing. I think it's more so because people, like, I was trying to people please. I'm still trying to get out of that mentality of being a people pleaser. But I think I grew up as a people pleaser, so that's why I'm not, like, if you ask me, I will share. And I'm also not someone that, I'm a go with the flow kind of person. So I'm not, I want to do this. I'm more so, do what you want. Like I said in the last episode, I'm like, do what you want, I'll follow. I'm good with whatever.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
But we talked about how I grew up having to play cards by myself and entertain myself on my own and find ways to, like, not feel alone. But as someone that has a sibling, I know you didn't have to do all that. So how was it from inside?
Well, of course it's fun. You always have a sibling to, like, play with or go talk to. But there was also fightings. Not fightings, because fighting is not healthy. And it's not normal to fight with your sibling or anybody else, in my opinion. It's normal to have disagreements. So we had disagreements at times, of course, but it was also a lot of fun. The same way there's good times, there are bad times with siblings. So that's pretty much it. And for entertainment, what is more difficult, quote unquote, would be balancing doing what each other wants to do together. You know, for example, we had one Xbox when we were younger.
Yeah,
I loved to play Just Dance.
everybody did.
But my brother, he couldn't play for like more than once a month. And I'm not exaggerating. He hated Just Dance. He would
I just said everybody did, apparently. Not everybody.
he would dance with me only because I asked him to. But what he loved to play on the Xbox was Halo or GTA.
Okay.
So if I wanted to spend time with him, I would have to play either.
Okay,
and
his games.
through that, I also ended up liking playing video games. So I started to, like, yes, play just to spend time with him, but just to play as well.
Okay.
So that was just.
So you kind of ended up liking some of, like, he never liked Just Dance either way, but you kind of ended up having. I feel like it's something that is common as the oldest, having to give place.
Yes,
like,
to
the younger ones. Like, you don't like something or you want to do something, but because the younger one wants to do something, you're like, okay, let's do what the younger one wants to. I never, like, I feel like that's something you see a lot online. It is, you know, you see a lot of, I was the oldest and I had to sacrifice a lot as the oldest. I feel like this is what you just said.
For like pastime, yes, I did that. But he also had to do it. Like, I think for us it went both ways. Because I would like I said, play Just Dance, but he would not play with me often. But I would play more with the Xbox than him.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes he would come to play his video games and I would be like already there dancing by myself. So I know for me. I know I'm an exception, but I know in general, often the older has to like
Give way.
give away more than the younger.
Yeah, I see that. Like, if I look online, there's so many stereotypes about, like, you told me earlier about the stereotypes that there is of only child, but there's so many stereotypes of people that have siblings. Notably,
by
like
their orders.
by their orders, yes. So like one that like yesterday I actually had bird, like a time with my friends. It's a monthly thing that we do, but it kind of also doubled as a something for my birthday and one of my other friends' birthday, because we're so close. Our birthdays are so close, and my friend, she's like the youngest of 3 children, and then while talking we had the question of how many children we want. And I was like, I want a minimum of 2 because I don't want my child to be only child. I was like, I'm an only child. I don't want to do that to my child. And then I said maybe 3. And then my friend was like, don't, as the youngest of 3, don't do 3, because the middle child is forgotten. And she was like, it's not a myth. In her house, it really happened. Like, she was like, it's sad to see poor him. Like, talking about her older brother. She was like, it's kind of like the middle child really does get like really forgotten. Sorry, yeah, the middle child really does get forgotten. Cause you and as we were talking, I was like, yeah, I guess so, because the older child gets the responsibility.
And he's the oldest child, the first child.
Yeah, so he's like the first experience, so of course he's gonna be remembered. And then the youngest child gets like all the attention, quote unquote,
as
or
the last one.
As
this
the
is
last
my last
one.
child. Let me do this and this. Let me do this differently.
And then the middle child is kind of just there. Yeah. He's not anything. Not to say that any middle child is not special, but like in the hierarchy of like things to give as a parent, I feel like the middle child doesn't have anything that is to give in, because he can fulfill both roles, you know? So I feel like as an only child, I would feel closest to a middle child in the sense that I fulfilled all the roles, either because I'm both the oldest and the youngest. But it's different because I get all the attention compared to an only a middle child who gets no attention.
Yeah.
From what I've seen online.
Yeah. But online, there, as the oldest, I can say that a lot of stereotypes are true as well. Sometimes we have the biggest trauma as well. We have more responsibilities, but also, I've seen on the internet that the oldest child often is the one with the best career. Because being the first comes with so much responsibilities.
Yeah, you become independent.
So high expectation. And especially for the parents saying, you're the oldest, you're supposed to set the example for the younger. So with that, you have to, like, with your career, go over the top.
Yeah.
Being in engineering or
doctor, lawyer.
And all of that. This is true. Except that my mom did not impose that on me. Because she didn't want me to like do something with my life just because she told me so. She was like, no.
Your mom is an exception between parents.
Yeah, my mom, I'm so happy to have her as a mom. She told me, like, I want you, the only thing that she really like imposed me on is going to school. My mom, she does not believe in like, and I don't either, but as in like internet being your first
and only choice. Yeah, I don't either. Income. Like, I'm doing this because I want to. Yeah. Like, I really like I really like stalking, doing the podcast, making videos, editing. Like, even though editing is like driving me crazy sometimes, and looking at analytics is driving me crazy, like so much so that I had to on my phone put a mode where I can't like once I activated it, I can't access any social media where I post things, because I don't want to be able to see like and drive myself crazy with numbers going up or not going up. But I really do like the internet, but it's not the only thing that I want to do in life. I want to have something on the side, a main thing, and the internet being on the side. I don't know yet, depending on the future. But I want to still have studies. Like, I think we spoke about that on the episode too. Like, still have studies down pat, like a diploma, even if I don't use it, you know? I feel like that's what your mom wants for you also.
Yeah. My mom says that you have to go to school in something that if, like, life goes wrong, if internet does not bring money, you can go there and say, I've studied in this, I have experience in this, and I could work on it. You know, especially if it's a work for the government.
Yeah.
It would be better. So this is what I'm doing at school. I'm studying because if I have a diploma, I want a good job. And I'm not gonna lie, in Canada, working for the government is really great.
Yeah.
It comes with great money, great social benefits. So this is what I'm heading towards. But in what field exactly, I don't know yet. So that's what she told me. For me, you go to school in something that you know you're gonna be good at, succeed at, and internet can be like on the side. And I do agree with that. Yeah. Honestly. And it's the same for my brother. My mom being the exception, there's no escaping going to school for my brother and I. We both have to get good diplomas on our hands. So
understandable. Yeah. I think because I'm the only child, my mom puts so much expectation on me because she sacrificed a lot. So she doesn't want me because I'm the only, I think, honestly, I feel like she lives for the fact that I'm still alive. Like, you know, a lot of parents, it's like that. You live, at one point you become yes, you have your own life, but you also live for your children. Yeah. So I feel like she made all of these sacrifices. So she wants me as the only child, since she doesn't have anybody else to look at. She's like, I want you to have a good life. So she puts a lot of expectations because I'm her only pride and joy. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
But all I know is that I am having children in Paris. That's it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I want a minimum of 2. If I don't want to, like, my friend told me don't have 3, so I'm thinking maybe 4. But even if I have 4, it's like 2 with like a year or 2 apart, and then like 5 years in between. Like, I know I can control it per se exactly.
We can now. You best believe I'm gonna see a doctor and have 2 children in one pregnancy. I'm doing 2.
You want twins?
1. I want twins. I want 2
I don't know if
twins.
I don't know if I can handle twins.
I know I can.
The way I get overwhelmed, I don't think I can handle twins.
I know the first 3 years are tough from moms of 2 under 2. But they say once you get past the 3-year-old stage, it's great because they can entertain each other. Meanwhile, if you have one child, you are that child's friend. So you have to play with them, or they're gonna come and talk to you while you do your stuff, and they want attention.
Yes, which is what.
But that's why I'm just like, if I don't have twins, I think I probably am going to get pregnant in like
I said,
year after I give birth, because I really want my children close enough.
Which is why I was like 1, 2, 3 years apart, and then after that I'm putting a minimum of 5 in between if I ever have other children, because I don't want like a bunch of children like
at the same time.
Like 4 children under 7 is crazy.
It's crazy to me.
It's crazy. I don't know how the people do it, and in this economy, I need time, because a child, like that child, before it even is born, that child is like a 10 grand. 10 grand. What, you want me to do that 4 times in a row in less than 7 years.
It's crazy.
And I'm saying 10 grand. I'm pretty sure I'm not even close to the number. I'm pretty sure 10 grand is probably even small.
It's an AIDS if a child costs 10K.
Yeah, I think it's $1 million.
It's too expensive.
From what I've heard people say, like, you as a child, we might have costed our parents at least $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
But to be honest, I don't even know if I want children yet. I don't know. Because
I know I want children. I've always wanted children. Now, if it's mine or adopted, that's another thing. But I've always wanted children.
Maybe it's children in general, because I don't have like that motherly instinct of like, as a person, like, oh my God, I need to be a mother to feel like I've accomplished something. I don't have that feeling of like
I think mine is more so, like I said, a lot of things is driven by the fact that I was alone.
Yeah.
So I always, like, I don't want the children just to have their children, because I know it's hard. My mom works in a daycare, and I have seen a lot of parents have bring their children, and they had the children just because it was cute to have a child, and then they don't want to have to deal with the child, which is crazy and sad. Yeah. So, but I know that dealing with a child is a lot. I'm not, and the thing is, I know myself. If it's like my child, I would be able to do it, because as a mom, you have, not all moms, but most of the time you have the instinct of taking care of your child. I know I get tired of a child after they get past 2 years old.
Yeah.
After they get past 2 years old, I'm just like, yo, take your child. I can't deal with it.
No.
But I feel like if it's my child, I would be able to do it and take care of him, because it's my child. It's not the same thing as that's another people's child, and I can't discipline that child. So, but I've always been close to children. I guess it's also because my mom works at a daycare. So since I was 6 years old, I've been to the daycare, and my mom was, at the time when I was 6, she was working with the newborns. So I was in the newborn classes giving bottles to the children. Like, I wasn't actually taking the children in my arms, but I was in the class after the end of school. If my mom was finishing like later, she would come get me, bring me to the daycare, and I would hang out there. So I've always been inclined to take care of children, and I think it helped to grow my wants for children.
Me, I don't know. It just went away with time. Especially because I realized that I wanted to have children because I just thought it's what I had to do in life. But as I grew older, I realized, wait, I want a career more than I want a family. Honestly, like, if I have to put my priorities in order, it would be, I want a career first, and then marriage, and a family from that marriage. I'm not sure.
Well, I think also, if from what we've talked, the more time passes, the less you are inclined into getting into a relationship at all. So I think that's also a point on, like, the children. Like, if you're not in a relationship, why do I have to have children? I think you're very content with life as you have now. Not like exactly as you have now, but like if you had a career, I think you would be content. Now, I don't know what would happen in the future. Maybe it's gonna change. Probably. But I don't want to tell you that it's gonna change, because I feel like I'm gonna sound like the doctors that don't want to do the procedures for the woman if they say they don't want children. But like, yeah, I think as you grow, you know for sure what you want. If you feel like you don't have the maternal instinct, don't do it.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like in my body, my body wants a child. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
I would see a child and I would be like, I just like want to take care of the child, but I don't want a child whatsoever. It's just like
it's a fleeting moment. Like it's a oh, I see the child, oh, it's cute, let me take care of it. I'm pretty sure the moment you see that you have to do a lot of work, you're gonna be like, no, thank you.
No. So I don't know.
But it's understandable that you feel like your body wants a child. It's literally every month. We get this feeling every month.
Yeah.
Like it's something
There's
that
some
is
periods where it's strong, and I'm just like, okay, I should have a child by now, but I don't want to.
Fight your body. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say on this subject. I feel like
same.
we've exchanged things that we haven't told each other before.
It was a great episode. I think it follows up great the second episode.
Yeah.
It fits way better than what we originally planned.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna ever do that. Y'all are gonna wonder for the rest of your life because we might never do it.
I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I don't think I care for the subject that we chose the last time, but you get this one. I think it was very, very good. A very, very good follow-up, like you said.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching, for those who watches, and thank you for listening to those who listened. If you want to watch the previous episode, the playlist is gonna be down in the description box.
And at the end. And the next episode is probably gonna be there once we have it out. Like we said earlier, for those that listen to us on Spotify, you can just go on our channel. You'll see all the episodes on Spotify. Don't forget to follow us and to leave us a 5-star review. That would be very appreciated. If you are on YouTube, subscribe, comment,
and share, please.
Yes. So talk to you guys
another time.
Bye.